Oh. Come on, everybody to the back. Please, everybody come to the back. Come to the back. John, they gotta come. They gotta come. Come on.
Hi lovelies, and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, you're welcome to Building the Verse. Don't forget to please subscribe to this channel, turn on notifications so that anytime I upload a video, you will be the first person to be notified. To my returning subscribers, to those people that share my videos, leave commentaries, and also educate each and every one of us, you guys are the real MVP. Alright lovelies, let's dive into today's video.
In other news, the Holy Spirit of Christopher Columbus jumps on another European as he decides to discover a Christian church.
Hinchy, let's get right into this. So you mean to tell me y'all are worried about having them things according to the federal government and how they determine who should have them and who should not? They told me, we got to keep it out of the criminals' hands. And every time you turn around, it's a non-criminal going to public spaces ready to cause chaos and havoc. Let me tell you something. There shouldn't be no law against having one of them things. Because the only way to stop people from doing that is to be ready at all times. You mean to tell me y'all worried about the criminals in the streets that's not even thinking about the average person, while you got these non-criminals running around here, running up in public spaces of worship, shopping, entertainment, like movies? You got dudes throwing them things off of hotel balconies at concerts. So y'all telling them about, oh, we got to worry about the lack-on-lack crime. But you got these dudes talking in innocent bystanders. You can be in a Walmart, you can be in a Kroger, you can be in anywhere, and they'll see that as potential targets. We don't do stuff like that. It happens so much that they should drop all bans just so you can have a fighting chance. Because when you're walking around here talking about who shouldn't have what, if that was the case, then no Caucasian man should own one of those. Because it's obvious at this point they have issues. And you know what they say? He was suffering from mental okay. Y'all listen to these government officials and these police, these politicians, because the police don't even got nothing to do with guns no more, right? Y'all run around here thinking about wanting to follow these politicians on having something to have a fighting chance if you want to, and then your family will be looking over you in that wooden pine box talking about, damn, you should have brought it with you. Because it's obvious, even in churches, they're letting you know, he got an AR, they're letting you know we're on a hunt. And he was 31. Think about that. Y'all worried about the YNs because they coming at each other, where now innocent bystanders, children, all that, they're not safe because of them. Let's talk about this. Y'all stay dangerous.
We are so desensitized in this country that wasn't even news. I heard about this story from one person, and then I saw this story someplace else. We are so desensitized in this country. A whole lot of people didn't know that happened. I have looked on several newspapers and shit, and very few have talked about it. You know, there's this constant debate about violence in this country. You hear things like criminal and thug. You hear about MS-13 and Crips and Bloods. And then you see something like this. people in a church running in terror as someone with an AR-15 decides to shoot the place up. Supposedly, he had a mental breakdown at church. The question I have is this. You have a breakdown at church, mental breakdown, which I will never knock. I've had those too. But your first instinct is to go out and grab a weapon. Put everybody in terror. And we're so desensitized to it, it doesn't even matter. I'm surprised the usual suspects didn't show up right after that. And by usual suspects, I mean the National Rifle Association. The only thing that stops it, who gives a fuck? Who the fuck cares? The only thing that stops, you just sold 2 weapons. That's all you did. You sold 2 weapons. Followed by a bunch of mouth-breathing, knuckle-dragging idiots defending an inanimate object. The AR-15 has less restrictions on it than a woman's vagina. Nobody cares. Nobody gives a fuck. What are you gonna do? And we go on about our business. To say that violent white men with access to weapons are the most dangerous motherfuckers in the United States is all of a sudden reverse racism, when it should be a factual thing, like duh. Water is wet, birds gotta fly, fish gotta swim. The most dangerous motherfuckers in America are angry white men with weapons. Black on black violence only happens to black on black people. Latino on Latino violence, Native and Indigenous on Native and Indigenous violence, Asian on Asian violence, Jewish on Jewish violence. But an angry white man with a weapon can end everybody's shit. And they just walk amongst us. Nobody says shit. Because heaven forbid we all say what we truly know to be true. Heaven forbid. Now everybody's feelings are hurt. Why? You know, you can kill 9 people in the church and get a sandwich or a ride to Burger King. Did you know that? You can kill a bunch of people and then make a manifesto and people have to fucking read it. You can kill 2 Democratic senators. Or no, Democratic state reps. And then people will argue about your party affiliation. Not the fact that a violent white man just killed 2 people. Actually killed 2 people and injured 2 other people. Oh, and by the way, you can also leave a tweet that says that the vice president's, the former vice president's security detail ends July something. And then say TikTok Kamala. Now if somebody goes and takes out Kamala, there'll be a bunch of hand wringing. Bunch of it. Nobody will give a fuck. The only thing that stops it, who gives a fuck? NRA. Who cares? Okay. We get it. You have your fist crammed up the asses of a whole lot of fucking federal goddamn, national goddamn representatives, senators, reps. We get it. Could y'all shut the fuck up now? The only thing that stops you from blowing me is your mouth on these nuts. Nobody cares. Nobody cares. And we're all supposed to pretend like this is the greatest nation on earth. We are always there. Hey, migrant worker, you see that black man over there? He's lazy. He just wants government assistance. He wants a handout, not a hand up. Hey, black folks, you see them Mexicans over there? They're stealing your jobs. And they're going to also steal your tax money in the form of welfare and food stamps and Social Security, stuff like that. Hey, Native people, you know, we would be able to give you your fucking land back, but the niggers and the Mexicans won't get off of it. Hey, Asian and Pacific Islander people, you guys are the model minority because you guys do it the right way. Unlike the blacks and the Mexicans and the native. Do you get it now? Oh, wait, hold on. We got to make room for the LGBTQIA plus, you know, those abominations. Every one of them want to do stuff to your children to turn them gay or trans or whatever. All of it brought to you in part by the misinformation, disinformation, and downright propaganda of the same white power structure that put us all in these fucking marginalized groups to begin with. Is history a great thing? No, not always. Not always. It's ugly. It's ugly. And even though these motherfuckers created it, subsidized it, and propped it up, their misinformation and shit has always poured down to us. So we end up looking at each other with the bombastic side eye. It happens all the fucking time. When you having these clickbaity ass algorithm begging fucking conversations about a shirt or a phrasing or this or a that, you are missing any sort of nuance whatsoever into how complex these conversations are. In other words, we dumb ourselves down. We do it to ourselves. They ain't got to do it no more. Everybody got fucked by the westward expansion and manifest destiny. Every fucking one of us did. Every one of us. Because these lazy motherfuckers wasn't gonna work, but they wanted all the goddamn benefits. And the only way they could keep that shit flowing, keep that gravy train moving, is by making sure we don't like each other. Making motherfucking sure. When black folks said we are stepping down and sitting this out after the 2024 election, it was almost a finality to that crack. That propaganda is as addictive as crack, meth, and heroin. I call it crack methon. It was so inviting. Because we were finally tired of pretending. Now again, every one of us in marginalized communities have biases. We still have to deprogram. We still have to deprogram. We still do. We all have to deprogram ourselves from believing that the person standing in front of you is not a human being, but a series of things that you disagree with. And to have this conversation started by a multi-billionaire wearing a t-shirt with wording from the same power structure on it and thinking she endorses it. No, that's the shit I'm talking about. Oh, I seen something. What's that wait a minute. Wait. What's that propaganda say? Where's the heartfelt conversations? Where's the painful conversations? Where are the conversations where we get a chance to finally say to ourselves and to each other, historically, we have not trusted one another? Oh, we can't have that. Because algorithms and TikTok-y clickbaits and creator funds and shit like that. So we'll make some clickbait and keep it moving. That's why people tell me I make long videos. You won't you cut that down to 30 seconds? No, why don't you expand your fucking attention span to 10 minutes? If we're going to have this conversation, can we please keep white propaganda out of it? Can we? And have some heart-to-hearts? If y'all notice, I say Jewish brothers and sisters, Asian brothers and sisters in the LGBTQIA+. Now, a lot of people will think, oh, well, what about black brothers? They are my black brothers and sisters. I am the black community, and the black community is me. Fuck you talking about? That goes without saying. But until such time as we are all ready to have these painful ass conversations about history, not to correct it, but to acknowledge it and go forward, I think all of this bullshit is performative. All of it. And the people that we're performing for are the same white Europeans that put the system in place for us to even be talking about it in in the first place. Again, argue with your mama. Do not argue with me.
You know what is wild? I didn't even hear about this story until someone casually mentioned it in a conversation. That's how buried it was, a mass shooting in a church and barely a blip in the news cycle. I had to go digging for it, check Twitter, check Google, search across multiple newspaper sites, and still, almost nothing. Let's sit with that for a second. Someone walked into a house of worship, a place where people gather to find peace, to pray, to heal, and opened fire with an AR-15. Children, elders, people kneeling in prayer, running for their lives. Some didn't make it out, and the media quiet like it never even happened. But let this have been a drive-by shooting in the inner city. Let it have involved a gang with a scary-sounding acronym, MS-13, Crips, Bloods, and you already know what would have happened. Breaking news banners, politicians lining up for soundbites, upped about over crime and why we need more police funding. But when the shooter doesn't fit the convenient narrative, when it's someone who maybe looks like the average good American, someone the media doesn't want to associate with domestic terrorism, suddenly is a mental health issue. Suddenly it's too soon to talk about gun laws. No, miss me with that. We have gotten so numbed, so used to it. Churches, schools, concerts, movie theaters all turned into battlegrounds. There is a shooting, we cry, we hashtag, we move on. On to the next one, then rise and repeat. You ever think about how absurd that is? In what other country do kids do active shooting drills in kindergarten? In what other place can you get gunned down while worshipping your God and the story disappears within 24 hours? Where else do politicians send thoughts and prayers and then turn around and collect checks from the NRA? And here's the worst part, we have normalized it. We tell ourselves this is just how things are, like gun violence is a natural disaster or some kind of virus we can't control. But it's not, it's a choice. Every single law that protects assault rifles, every politician who votes against common sense gun reform, every media outlet that cherry picks which shooting to highlight, those are choices. Intentional ones, and when it comes to violence, the double standard is glaring, loud, defining, even. Black and brown communities get labeled violent even when they are just surviving. But when it's a white shooter, suddenly we hear about how quiet he was in high school, how he liked video games, how he had a rough upbringing. Nobody gives our community that grace. Let's stop pretending we don't see the pattern. Let's stop pretending that this story slipping through the cracks is an accident. The system protects what it wants to protect and forgets what it wants to forget. So when a church gets shut up and the world doesn't even blink, that is not just media failure, that is moral failure. And I know some people watching this are thinking, it's too political. Why are you talking about this? Because silence is complexity. Because if we don't speak on it, who will? Because these are real lives, real families, real trauma, and someone got to hold a mirror up to the country and ask, what the hell are we doing? How many more lives? How many more broken families? How many more virgins? The Second Amendment wasn't written with AR-15X in mind. It wasn't designed for a mass destruction in seconds, and the fact that one person can legally buy a weapon powerful enough to turn a place of prayer into a war zone, that should haunt every single one of us. But instead we scroll, we click like, maybe we post a sad emoji and then we move on. I'm tired of moving on. I'm tired of acting like this is okay. So if you're watching this and you feel that same ache in your chest, that same outrage, that same exhaustion, do something. Say something. Vote. Speak up. Push the conversation forward. Because the worst thing we can do is nothing.
And if you have watched up to this extent, thank you so much for all the love and support. Don't forget to please leave me your own thought in the comment section of what you think of this video. And please do not forget that we do not support any form of bullying and harassment. Alright, lovely. See you when I upload the next video.